Do you feel like you're losing more aim duels than you'd like? Maybe you're uncomfortable playing aggressive. Want to have a bigger impact in your ranked games? Well, today, I'd like to cover some of the ways that you can more confidently be the carry of your team. I want you guys to come out of this video with a better understanding of aggression and how to utilize it properly in order to secure kills and pressure the enemy team. From my experience, the fastest way to improve and climb the ranked ladder is learning how to play aggressively with confidence. Hi, my name is Renox, and today I'll be your personal guide on these techniques. It's my pleasure to share with you these useful ways to utilize aggression, which can help you feel more confident and better equipped to win your Valorant games. No matter what happens in Valorant, if you're confident in your abilities, you will have a much bigger impact on your team. I believe the ability to control your aggression and use it to your advantage is one of the most important factors in reaching your potential as a Valorant player. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to comment down below which setting you found most interesting or useful. Also, if you feel like we missed anything, comment what ways you would like to play aggressive. Before we dive straight in, as always, we have our question of the day. How do you guys feel about the shotguns in Valorant? Personally, I feel like they are just a tad bit overtuned. I would love to see some price increases and possible nerfs to the Judge and Shorty specifically. I feel like they are both highly impactful guns and their price point is very efficient. Let us know how you feel about the shotguns right now. Maybe you feel the same way as me. One of the biggest mistakes I see newer players struggle with is how they peek before an engagement. If you are able to start swinging into your fights, you have a much higher chance of winning your fights. The main reasons behind that is the inherent peeker's advantage within the game, as well as making the shot harder for your enemy to hit. This is especially the case in lower ranks, as players tend to hold static angles that you can swing on. Imagine your enemy is holding the angle and expecting a player to peek them close. By swinging out wide, you now force that player to adjust their crosshair to properly track you. Meanwhile, you have peeker's advantage and the ability to line up your crosshair properly on the enemy. Especially at lower ranks, the player will not move and focus on trying to hit you while you're moving. Now, not only is the shot much harder for him, the shot is much easier for you, and you have a much higher chance of winning that fight now. I've seen far too many inexperienced players either shift walk peeking or short peeking, which will often put you right into the crosshair of your enemy. Start paying more attention to this type of peek, and I guarantee you will start winning more of your gun duels. Bonus points if you can mix up your wide swings with close swings as well as crouch swings. Generally speaking, if you're not sure how to take the gun duel, stick to swinging wide if you can. Regardless if you're playing on the defender or attacker side, learning how to mix up early aggression on different portions of the map is very important. The easiest way to help your team secure crucial rounds is by helping your team secure map control to alleviate pressure. So oftentimes, I see many players play overly passive on the defender side, or on the flip side, only play aggressive as a full 5-man squad on the attacker side. This is a big issue as you put yourself into predictable scenarios where you allow your enemy to dictate the pace of the round. For example, playing passive on the defender side for all the bomb sites and hoping to win against any enemy pushes will often result in your teammates getting out-traded if they are a decently coordinated team. If you are able to make early coordinated 2 to 3-man pushes in certain parts of the map, you can often catch players off guard and put your team in a player count lead. Without these sort of mix-ups, the enemy will not be afraid of full 5-man pushing sites, and it's not likely that 1 to 2 defenders on site can successfully halt a full team push without losing more players. If you feel like you find yourself often taking 2v4 or 2v3 retakes, look to taking more proactive pushes with other teammates either earlier in the round or in the middle of the round. Even if you don't get a kill, now you have more information on where the enemies can be playing and can help your team be more prepared for the aggression on the other sides of the map. On the other hand, if you're not making aggressive plays on the attacker side, you open yourself up to flanks or early aggression from the defenders like I previously mentioned. Try finding weak points in the defense where you can play aggressively with 1 to 2 other players. The key is to not put all your marbles in one basket. If you show all of your players early, the enemy team can now better position around that by either stacking or flanking. Ultimates can obviously win rounds and are devastating abilities if used correctly. I want to highlight specific ultimates that can be used to take physical space or pressure enemies into awkward situations. Some of the best ultimates to do this with are Phoenix, Raze, Sova, Reyna, Brim, Omen, Killjoy, and Jett's ultimate. Let's start with physical space. This is where ultimates like Phoenix, Raze, Reyna, Killjoy, and Jett come into play. Try looking to use them before your team pushes into an area to either flush players out or push them off crucial points in the map. The key thing is though, you don't actually always need your team to be there when you use your ultimate. Any of these ultimates are scary for the enemy to deal with, so be confident that using them will put you in an advantage and will often force the enemies to play around you. If you want to learn even more about the specifics of each ultimate and how you could possibly use them in greater detail, head on over to ProGuides.com, where we offer the best on-demand coaching. We have some amazing coaches there that will be glad to help you with any of the topics covered in today's video. Regardless if you do this alone, with one teammate, or with the entire team, using your ultimate to take space will keep your ultimate from going stale and can also simultaneously help you learn how far you can push that ability. On the flip side, ultimates like Brim, Omen, and Sova's are great for making the enemy team uncomfortable and push players to move around it. My favorite way to use Omen's ult is to TP on top of players, which will make them uncomfortable to continue to play in that position. Brim and Sova ultimate are great at clearing these angles and sometimes will net you straight kills without actually using your physical body to push forward. So look to use these with teammates more often, as they are great for clearing cheeky angles or spots that are annoying to deal with. If you tend to hold on your ultimate for the perfect situation, it will often not happen, or you'll end up missing out on the potential to have many ultimates in the match. For example, if you're having a solid game, you can easily have upwards of 4 to 8 ultimates per game. However, I see many inexperienced players hold their ultimates for way too long and end up only having 2 to 40 ultimates per game. It's okay to use your ultimate and not get an insane amount of value, as you can always recharge it back and try again. Simply put, the closer you are to a wall, the earlier an enemy will see you before you are able to see them. Although I recommend that you don't peek closer to a wall, you can still use it to your advantage. One of my favorite techniques is playing hyper-aggressive early and using walls or terrain to shoulder peek and bait out shots. Now that you know where your enemy is holding, you can implement a quick wide swing peek to secure kills. You can also jump 180, spot close to walls, which is just as effective. By doing this technique, you can safely pressure off areas of the map without the fear of dying. A good spot to mention this on is B-long bind. On the attacker side, you can quickly rush to the B-long wall and do a close shoulder peek or jump peek to bait out any shots and quickly use that to your advantage. Even if you don't decide to do anything off of it, this early aggression can help net your team crucial information on how the defense is playing. At the end of the day, you want to keep your enemies uncomfortable, and doing this is one of the best and easiest things that many players are not implementing into their gameplay. Make sure if you intend to actually hard peek an angle, you stay farther away from that wall. It will sometimes turn the tides on the enemies and allow you to see them before they can even see you. The only time hugging close to a wall is an ideal play is if you're using it to bait out shots from your enemy. Again, because they can see your player model before you see them, you can use your shoulder to jiggle bait before you decide to commit your entire body. Usually, this will net you free kills if done correctly, and it is a great way of figuring out if an enemy is holding an angle that you eventually want to peek. Let's talk about how to use smokes aggressively to help flush out sights. Instead of blocking off all vision and potentially getting counter aggression, one of the best ways I can paint this is on bind A site. Sometimes if you smoke for the standard truck plant, you'll run into the issue of the enemy stalling out the plant or outright killing you. This is where the adaptation must come into play, and more aggressive smokes should be used to first clear out the site, then looking for the plant next. I'll quickly show you the standard smokes on A site, then move to the 2 common ways to aggressively smoke off that site and use them to help clear out defenders that are being a particular nuisance. A big issue that a lot of players face is that they're uncomfortable playing aggressively, or they believe it is not the correct or right way to approach the game. However, Valorant is very situational, and there are many times where you need to step up to the plate or become the aggressor in certain situations. If you are a little bit wary of practicing it in your ranked games, look to work on it in Deathmatch. Utilizing Deathmatch properly by working on how you peek and take fights instead of holding angles or camping the minimap will let you nest kills, yes, but it will also help you develop as a stronger player instead. So I highly suggest those looking to get better in their gun duels or how to peek players to start trying to get more aggressive peeks like I previously mentioned in those Deathmatch games. Don't worry so much about winning those death matches. The key is to focus on improvement and start trying out new things to expand your knowledge pool. This is a fairly general tip, but if you can be more consciously aware of bad habits like playing reactionary, you will start noticing you are far more in control of your games than you think you are. Playing reactionary means you're typically waiting for either the enemy or your teammates to do something before you decide how to react to the situation. Although this is a great way to play in certain situations, if you can start proactively making plays around your utility or your teammates, you will be able to dictate the pace of the round. It's okay to be afraid of making the wrong play, but the important thing to take away is that it's a learning process. By looking for more proactive plays now, you can open yourself up to being more in control of situations, which can lead to an easier understanding on how to fix your mistakes. On the other hand, if you only play reactionary, you open yourself up to a plethora of different player plays and play styles, which are harder to always make the right play around. So again, keep in mind that proactive plays are necessary at helping develop you as a player and can also help your team alleviate pressure to help everyone play better. Because the operator is a great weapon to pressure areas of the map early from a long range, you can use your teammates to take space while you post on a certain angle. A simple way to understand this play is on Haven mid-window. On the defender side, if you post on the mid-window angle, you can have 1 or 2 players push down mid to catch the players pushing up grass off guard. Even if they don't secure kills, you can still keep 1 player tucked under window, which will usually net your team kills later in the round if they decide to come back mid. At the very least, you now have a player that can flank easily if they do commit to another site. The amount of value you can get on this play is insane, but it's a play that can be done on any map in a variety of ways. Try this play out for yourself, and if you enjoy it, start thinking about how this can play out in every other part of the map. In the end, practice makes perfect. Putting in the necessary amount of time and focusing on the right way to improve will allow you to have a huge step up over your competition. Here at ProGuides, we want to cover some of the typical ways that you can use to improve your aim at a quicker rate. If there are any tips you feel helped, be sure to comment and let us know why. Additionally, if there's anything we missed, please let us know. We love to learn more too. That's all that we have for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. To keep up to date with us, make sure to hit that bell notification, which ensures that you stay up to date with our videos and ahead of the competition. If you want to learn more about anything Valorant related, head over to ProGuides.com for the best Valorant on-demand coaching. Our coaches are among the very best, and we hope you check them out if you enjoyed the video. They will help you with any of your individual Valorant needs and can help bring you to the next level. If that's not your style, maybe check out our Discord. We have a great community which you can chat, hang out, and possibly find friends to play with. Stay tuned for our future videos and keep up the grind, ProGuides fam.